Alright, what is going on, everybody? It's Nabs Fight Media coming at you guys with another video. You guys know what time it is. Time to bring on that boxing. Today we're going to be talking about Deji and Floyd Mayweather. They had their exhibition fight go on yesterday, but I don't know when you guys are seeing this, so maybe obviously in the past, but it was kind of what we all expected. I kind of get annoyed when people say stuff like, wow, the kid lasted 6, 8, whatever, how many rounds he lasted. I wasn't even really paying attention to the fight. I'll be 100% honest. Like, I was watching it on mute. I had class at the time, so I was watching this fight, or I had a meeting, but I was watching it without volume, so I had to just watch it, and it was blurry on my laptop. The streaming wasn't that great, at least for me. Maybe it was the Wi-Fi in my building, but, you know, I think that you can't really, can you really give credit to somebody who lasts like 6 rounds? It's not like Floyd Mayweather goes in there to take your head off. He could, but that's not the way he fights. He goes in there to give people a show. You know, he does his little showboating. He talks his talk. We saw it. He wasn't really going in there to hurt Deji, you know, right when the fight started. He was going around, he was getting the rounds in, moving around, you know, showboating, and just kind of toying with Deji. It's not, I feel like anybody, you know, even you guys, like viewers watching this, anybody, get somebody off the street, you know, your teacher or somebody like that, like your uncle, your aunt, they could get in the ring and last a few rounds, like with training, obviously, but like at the end of the day, if you know how to put your hands up and somewhat protect yourself, you'll last the rounds, especially in an exhibition with Floyd Mayweather. He could, if Floyd wanted to, he could go in there, get Deji out of there in 30 seconds, and that's just facts. But he understands the elements of, you know, giving people a show, giving the people what they want to see. So it's more impressive when you do it in a longer fashion instead of a shorter fashion, because then you give the people, you know, a little bit of a bang for their buck, so to speak. You know, if you go in there and end it early, obviously people are going to criticize you, say, you know, Floyd was supposed to do that, we're not impressed, we want to see him fight, you know, someone real in the ring. But by him, you know, making these fights longer, you don't have the excuse of saying, you know, he's taking guys out early, so he should get, you know, go back to fighting pros, or we don't want to watch you anymore. He has that excuse to kind of, you know, go in there and just do his thing for a few rounds, get some rounds in. It's cardio. This is easy work for Floyd. He didn't look tired to me at all. He was letting his shots fly, and by the time that he was, you know, putting the pressure on him, I could kind of see, you know, okay, he's trying now, and then he stopped him. So, you know, respect to Deji for getting in there with a legend. That's what I respect Deji for. Getting in there, accepting the challenge. You're only going to grow from an experience fighting a guy like Floyd Mayweather. Probably the best of all time, in my opinion. You know, I'm not saying that Deji's going to become the best fighter ever, but that's something that he'll be thinking about in the training process. He gets to rewatch this fight and kind of analyze when it went wrong for him and what worked, or whatever the case may be. And I respect Deji, because, you know, it's not easy to get in there with a guy that's a multiple division world champ, who's never lost a fight, who's never been really hurt. The only times he's been hurt, you can count on like 3 fingers. That's how you know a guy is great, when you can remember all the times they've been hit. So a guy like Floyd, you know, you don't lose in any situation. Even though he got stopped, Deji still gained that experience. He gained the exposure. You know, boxing fans that didn't know Deji, they now know him because he was associated with Floyd in an exhibition. So he's gaining new fans. His stock rises inevitably. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather's stock rose by beating up a YouTuber, but it was a spectacle for the fans. This is what happens when we don't get the fights that we want. We get exhibitions with celebrities and guys who, you know, don't take the sport 100% seriously, but there's a market for what they're doing, so you can't really be mad at guys for going to get their money. You can't be mad at Floyd, you can't be mad at Deji, you can't be mad at Jake Paul, because we're not getting the fights that we want to see. You guys know what fight I'm talking about, but it is the problem with boxing. But at the end of the day, these exhibitions are going to take place as long as, you know, the actual fights don't get made within the sport of boxing with the real boxers that we want to see, the best fighting the best. And that's just how it's going to be. You know, until these fights get made. You know, the Ryan Garcias and Gervonta Davis, the Terrence Crawfords and Errol Spence, those fights have to happen in order for boxing, you know, purist fans to be happy, so that, you know, the exhibitions will eventually lose their attention, because other people are going to say, oh, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, Terrence Bud Crawford, Errol Spence, those are guys that people are going to be able to translate it to outside of, you know, just purist boxing fans, and it'll gain a lot of attention. But at the end of the day, it's hard to beat out a lot of guys who have a lot of followings on social media, like Jake Paul, any other celebrity you could think of, you know, football players, NBA players. You can throw them all in the mix, but it's just the way things are right now. I'm not hating on it, but I'm also not praising it, because I understand that, you know, there are boxers that they've been doing this their whole lives and they don't even, you know, get 10% of what Jake Paul is making, you know, within 5 or so fights, however many fights he's had so far. But it is what it is. You can't be mad at Jake for making his money. He's a good businessman. He knows how to market himself, and he's entertaining. So that's just the way it is. But respect to Deji and Floyd for putting on this event. It was pretty interesting. I mean, it was an exciting not co-main event, exciting main event. The rest of the fights were kind of nothing to, you know, call home about. Kind of a snooze fest. But the rest of the, you know, the main event, I think Floyd and Deji did a good job of putting on a show. So respect to them. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this fight. Were you more impressed with Deji? Were you impressed with Floyd? Taking into account his age, or was it just you know, something to wave off, nothing interesting? But let me know in the comments, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Well, that's gonna do it for another Nabs Fight Media video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to you always.